It's a small boat, simple, classic, wooden, but imagine living on this for months and months. Cramped quarters, rough seas, and a journey no one could forget, because this boat sailed around the world 3 times.
Trekka is significant because she was actually built here in Victoria, and at the time, which was in the early 1950s, she was the smallest boat, little wooden boat, to sail around the world.
It was built by John Guswell, who, interestingly enough, didn't have a whole lot of boat-building experience, but with a little help from the local community, he managed to put the parts together.
He actually glued up the keel for the Trekka in the YMCA boiler room on View Street, and then he managed to rent a cheap accommodation behind Johnny's Fish and Chip Shop downtown here, which doesn't exist anymore, and he built the whole boat there.
Guswell was inspired to build the Trekka after hearing the story of the Tillicum. This boat had set off on an around-the-world voyage years before. Just take a look inside the Trekka. She's not that big, but Guswell sailed this boat for 5 years before returning to Victoria.
Even at his age, he's quite an imposing person, and to be on this little boat is something else.
Tony Grove is an expert in restoring wooden boats and no stranger to both the Trekka and Guswell.
I knew of Trekka, I knew about the story of Trekka, and I've just been following it. I've met John Guswell a couple of times who built her.
Okay.
Grove has been working on fixing Trekka's keel, which was removed, sandblasted, and is now being placed back on. People are drawn to the Trekka not only for its history but the workmanship. And like any wooden boat aficionado will tell you, these are simply the best.
I think that there's still a strong romance, still a true love for the wooden boats. You go to a dock, you might see a $10 million boat, and you'll still be drawn to that little wooden one sitting there at the dock.
After the trek is finished, it'll join other wooden boats at the Classic Boat Festival on September long weekend. And then its permanent resting place will be right here at the Maritime Museum. And for everyone that loves the story and has been inspired to sail themselves, well, they can come take a look at the little boat that could. In Victoria, I'm Shetta Singh for The Daily.
Producing over 9,000 hours of local programming every year. This is Shaw TV, your local voice.